Welcome to the A to Z of best players in the world right now. And speaking of right now, I demand you guys right now go down, like the video, make sure you subscribe because we are on the road to 50k, on the road to that 100k plaque that will be there very soon. If you are appreciating the fact that you're still getting daily content even in international break, let's tuck in straight away because it's very straightforward, self-explanatory really. Only one rule pretty much. It is their surnames only. So for example, on A, I'll be honest, I initially had Alisson, then I realized, oh no, it's Alisson Becker. So I had to change it. I was thinking, ooh, did I put myself in there? Could I have gone with Trent maybe? But over the last year or so, I'm going to go Julian Alvarez for A. Obviously shining for Atleti, specifically this season as well, and towards last season as well. He's bagging free kicks, he's bagging open play goals, he's putting that team on his back. So he is the best player that currently plays whose surname begins with the letter A. For B, this one was a lot easier, straightforward. It came immediately. Boom. Jude Bellingham, someone who I still believe is kind of underrated, you know. People just talk about him. They start doing like Jude Smellingham and all this kind of nonsense troll football memes because he doesn't score 25 goals a season anymore. But to me, if you watch football and you understand the game, the stuff he does on the ball and off the ball, phenomenal. I think he's well deserving of his space as B's best player. Again, if I forget a name, apologies in it. Put them in the comments. Let me know what guys you think could have been nominated for certain letters because there are some that it becomes a bit tricky. But C, I think I was pretty comfy in the end. I've gone with Thibaut Courtois. Obviously, I've been giving Caicedo his flowers recently as well. But I think in terms of like impact and importance and whatnot, Courtois, we've seen him, you know, go crazy in finals and be consistent. 38 games a season, year in, year out. Obviously, big up Courtois. Caicedo was a close one, but I think Courtois is looking like, if not Alisson, the best keeper in the world. Both of the last 12 months and over the last, 10 years, you could say, really, like a last decade. Since like Neuer started to tail off, it's been Alisson and Courtois. So I've given Courtois some goalkeeper flowers, if you will, because you know me, I tend to not give goalkeepers as much flowers as I should. So there you go. Thibaut Courtois in C. D is very easy. Your Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembele. Very straightforward. What a year he's had. Obviously, he's won the treble as PSG's most important player. And now it's going to be fascinating to see, can it translate with France as well? Because he's not really known for his France spells, right? We know, for example, the high he got with winning the Ballon d'Or. His lowest low, I would argue, is the way he got hooked, dragged by the ear in the first half of the World Cup final. He was that bad. So hopefully, for France's sake, if he can gel with the likes of Mbappe and maybe like Olise on the other side, yeah, France is looking very scary if they can fix their midfield. Over to E. This one was a bit of a coin flip. Obviously, Edison's up there, but I just... can I give the best player to a goalkeeper? Again, no offense, but like... Obviously, he's done it longer than the next person I'm going to name. But as a footballer, I think Ekitike is the best footballer that begins with E right now. Again, let me know if you agree. Is that a howler? I don't really know. I've never been like an Edison super fan anyway. I've always felt that Alisson is quite a way ahead of him anyway. And Ekitike so far, he obviously has been benched recently because of Isaac and they're trying to fit in Wirtz and Gakpo and everyone else. But I still believe Ekitike has done the job. And obviously last season, you know, the whole reason why he got such a big move to Liverpool is because of how good he was last season as well in Germany. So big ups to Ekitike. Hopefully he can keep on bringing numbers and being fun to watch as well, right? For me, there's nothing better than a player that is fun to watch and delivers numbers. Both of those combined. I'm not aesthetics merchant. I'm not Excel spreadsheet merchant. You find me a player that can do both of them, that's a player that I will happily support. Case in point, Ousmane Dembele. Anyway, on to F. Guys, I struggled here. Over the last year, there's not many players that I could have gone with. So, I've gone with Vitor Macado Ferreira. That is the full name, and F, the Ferreira, is the surname of Vitinha. Again, hear me out on that one. There wasn't many F suggestions that were really good over the last year that I say, you know what, you're the best player of that name. And I did say is based on their surnames. Vitor Macado Ferreira. If Ferreira is beginning with F, Vitinha, you are going to be our F representative. And also because I want to get someone else for V as well. So, you know what I mean? I've killed two birds. Oh, I haven't done nothing to the birds. Sorry. before RSPCA and was it RSPCA? NSPCC? What's the animal one? WWF. Don't call my phone, don't snitch on me. I didn't do nothing to the birds with no stone. I just, you know, it was a little slingshot thing. I got them both. Anyway, moving on from F. I still believe Vitinha was a bit too high in the Ballon d'Or rankings, but again, that's neither here nor there. A little 7th, 8th would have been fine. Over to G. I know Gyökeres got the Gerd Muller Award, but I don't think I can put him G for this one, man. I think I'm going to go with his teammate, actually. Oh, no, but then it's Gabriel Magalhaes, isn't it? Oh, it might have to be Gyökeres. I've actually just realized it. As I'm speaking now, I've got my list. And then I realized as I'm saying Gabriel Magalhaes, I technically can't have Gabriel anymore. Oh, do you go Guirassy then, you man? Guirassy or Gyökeres? I might have to go Guirassy. You know? Okay, no. If it's over the last year, though, to be fair, he did bag like 5 billion goals in Liga NOS, I guess. So, for now, we'll put Gyökeres in there. But next year, probably Guirassy can come and collect it because of his goals in Champions League and whatnot. We'll see how it goes, I suppose. H, this one, very tricky. There are two standout. Maybe there's more as well, but there are two major standouts. You've got Erling Haaland, you've got Achraf Hakimi. I am going to be positionist here, and I'm going to favour Erling Braut Haaland for this one. Obviously, yeah, he's not the best footballer on the eye. I think everyone knows that by now. I'm not going to go as far as Roy Keane saying he should be playing for like Aldershot and like League 2 standard as far as on the ball. But I think the hardest thing to do in football is score goals. And he does that at a freakish rate. So Hakimi, obviously you could argue as the last 12 months, it's fair that Hakimi should be in. Yeah, Judge, you know what? Then I'm going to be messing up my criteria, aren't I? Realistically. If I am keeping it to the last year, then Haaland, sorry bro, I changed my mind. You're going to go second. Apologies you, man. I'm changing my list because I've realised that I've got to keep it consistent from A all the way to Z. If it's over the last year, Hakimi has had a better year than Erling Haaland. So, Haaland, unlucky bro. Second place will do for you for now. In I, we have Isak, and I don't think there were many other options to my knowledge. Obviously, Newcastle, he was flying, 20-something goals. Carabao Cup, won their first trophy for the last, what was it, 60 years or so, for those of us who remember back in the day. So, fantastic season. Hasn't quite hit the ground running for Liverpool yet, but again, last 12 months, Isak is the guy with I, unless there's someone that I'm missing. Again, by all means, let me know who that is. Now, J, I was fighting for my life here, bro. I initially had shortlisted Joelinton. I said, man, am I going to do a video with the best players in the world and I have Joelinton in the list? Then a light bulb Eureka moment. I remembered Reece James because he has 2 first names, so I didn't even think about him as a surname. But James is his surname. Reece James is going to be our J representative. When he's fit, we know what he's on. Now, the when is in massive asterisks and brackets and underlined with italics, but we know what Reece James is on. Over to K, Harry Kane. A big up Kvicha. I think Kvicha finished ahead of him in the Ballon d'Or rankings, but again, I'm not following their Ballon d'Or rankings. I'm following my Ballon d'Or rankings and my opinion because, well, I'm not going to judge, you know, what Trinidad and Tobago were voting for because I've seen their list. I've seen Albania's list. I've seen what they were doing. So I'm going to go personally with my list. Harry Kane, scoring goals, winning a trophy, you know, finally he has to be in. Over to L, we have Lewandowski. I don't think there were that many candidates for L. Again, I could be forgetting someone really obvious. If I am, apologies. But Lewa, for as much as I say that I'm not his biggest fan, he does still put up numbers every single season, so it's hard to look past that. And obviously he did win the league and whatnot, so, you know, fair play. He still misses 5 chances a game, but hey, it's okay. For L, he is the best player in the world. Over to M, Mbappe. He's the best player in the world of any letter, in my opinion. I think he's incredible. There are a lot of M candidates. Again, feel free to debate and disagree in the comments. I'm sure you will think of other names. Some might say Messi. Some may argue that so long as Messi plays football, even if it's in his garden, he's still the best in the world. And if you think that, that's okay, no problem. I'm going for Mbappe. I think he's phenomenal. I think I would like for France to do well. No, that's a lie. I want Ghana to win first and foremost. If Ghana can't win, France go have a little something, man. Why not? Why not? Mbappe, go get your Ballon d'Or, bro. Over to N, we have João Neves. right? The Neves. Again, he might have some crazy Portuguese name or something that has like 8 different middle names. I don't know, but to my knowledge, he's João Neves. Unfortunately, I initially was thinking of Nuno Mendes, but then I realized Nuno, I guess, would be his first name. I don't even know how these men and their names work, bro. Big up Portugal, but it's too confusing for me. So I've gone with João Neves. I personally think he was as important, if not more important, than Vitinha in that, Champions League and league campaign and whatnot. But yet there was like 20 places difference in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Again, howler from them. He is the best player with N. Is there any other ones that are close? Not really that I can think of. Over to O. Victor Osimhen. I don't care if he's in Turkey. I don't care if he's in Bulgaria. I don't care if I see him in Moldova playing for Sheriff Tiraspol, Zimbru Kishinev. I don't care who he's playing for. He's the best player that begins with O. He is still a top 10 striker in the world with ease. I'm talking, when I say top 10, that's even being generous, if you will. No, not generous. What's the opposite? I'm being, I can't think of my English. It's run out. I should be going higher is what I'm looking for. If you can think of the word, let me know in the comments, huh? Help me with my English. The one time that I struggle. Over to P. I just got to do that. You know who it is. It's Pedri. I always say it. We don't need to turn around and open up Excel, look at F-Breath or whatever stinking breath that website is. I don't want to see XG TPA created per X. I don't want to see GTA versus 90. I don't care about all of that, bro. I watch the matches, so I don't need to pretend and then open the internet afterwards and tell me what the rating said. I saw with my 2 eyes Pedri balling out against virtually every opponent, being a magician. So big up to him on the P. Now Q, there's not a lot of room to go with this one because you got the likes of back in the day, obviously Quaresma, you got Quincy Usuobei, but right now the Qs aren't really popping too tough. We ain't even got like a Quagliarella, so I've gone with Giovanni Kenda. Obviously, I guess right winger, right wing back, whatever you want to call him. He's scored some lovely goals this season so far already. So I think I'm going to go with him for Q. I could be missing somebody really obvious. Again, I just wrote down my list off the dome, so if I'm missing someone really bait, my bad, innit? But Giovanni Kenda is the best that I can think of that begins with Q. And again, it's surnames, right? So I don't want no first names beginning with Q or whatever the case may be. Over to R, we're going to go Rafinha. Felt he was definitely hard done by in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Had a great year. Obviously, crazy numbers in the league, and in particular, crazy numbers in the Champions League, where everyone watches when their lights are shining at their brightest. Obviously, big up Ronaldo as well. Same logic as the Messi one. If you want to say Ronaldo's still the best until he retires, be my guest, feel free. He has scored some banging volleys for Al Nassr, to be fair to him, but it's going to be Rafinha. For over the last year, he is the best. For the S, I can't think of many beyond Bukayo Saka, to be fair. And obviously, he did miss a few months with injury, but obviously before that, he was putting up ridiculous numbers of goals and assists. I guess he came back from the injury. He went crazy against the Real Madrid to knock them out. And to be fair to him again, this season, obviously, still getting back from injuries and whatnot. But I think he's the best player that begins with S. Unless, again, I'm missing someone. I don't think I am. So I'm going to go Bukayo Saka for S. Now, T, this one I really did struggle. I was thinking, brother, who even is there? You got the likes of, like, Jonathan Tah, who I don't think is even that good. There's lots of other players, and I realize Saka's teammate, Julian Timber, he probably is the best T player in the world right now, right? There's not many other candidates that are really doing anything, and I think Timber's been so consistent. He's been class for the last 12 months. Rarely puts a foot wrong, rarely has a game below 7 out of 10. So I've gone with Julian Timber for T. Now you, Ugarte. I'm playing. Gotcha. You really thought I was gonna put you for Ugarte? I got you like when BBC got people with the spaghetti tree prank back in 1957. For those of us who remember, they tried to convince people that the Italian spaghetti was they used to grow on trees over in Austria. I prank you guys like that. Of course, we're not gonna have Ugarte in a world 80s list. So I've gone with Dayo Upamecano, someone who I've criticized before, and rightly so, deservedly, by the way, that every time the lights were shining, he's like a deer in the headlights. He has the worst game of his life, and then he'll go and face like Bochum and Amenyah Bielefeld, and he'll put in like 9 out of 10s. The last year, he's definitely stepped up a lot more, and for France in particular, he looks to be the most important centre-back for them, despite having, you know, Saliba, Konate and whatnot. So I think, Saliba could have been one for S actually. Saliba, Saka, I guess one of them can have S. I'll keep it as Saka because I'm not going back to go and edit the video, so just hold that. But yeah, you, Upamecano, big ups to him. Now V, like I said, we had Vitinha over there, Vitor Mercado Ferreira with F. So for V, I'm going to go someone that has V as his first name and his surname. I'm going to go Virgil van Dijk. Obviously, Vinny was a potential shout, but I just don't think in the last 12 months he's been as good as he normally is. I don't think he warranted even being in the top 30 at all for the last Ballon d'Or, but I like him. So maybe next year he can get his spot back if Van Dijk slows down. But it seems as though, ignoring the last week or two where he was, you know, shaking his cheeks and whatnot, Van Dijk is not going to slow down anytime soon. And he's doing this whilst carrying the likes of Milos Koyokes, who's been underperforming, Frimpong, who just isn't a good right back, and Konate, who clearly wants to go to Madrid already. So Van Dijk, big ups to him. He is the one for V. For W, his teammate Wirtz, I considered. But I'm afraid for the consistency to be this bad for like 8-9 weeks straight, I'm afraid you've lost your space to Adam Wharton. The mark of consistency. Now doing it for his country as well. He's been, you know, fantastic. Obviously, Crystal Palace went on a crazy unbeaten run. He was a big part of that. His pass selection, pass appreciation, everything about him is so good. He plays as though he's been playing for Palace for like 10-15 years. Obviously, I told you guys before when I was doing my video with some of the Crystal Palace players, every question I asked them about like who would be a potential manager in the future, who mashes work the most in training, every single thing, Adam Wharton, Adam Wharton, Adam Wharton. This guy, like, he's a serious baller, bro. And I think he's getting not enough love because his name is Adam Wharton. I'll be honest. I think I told you guys one day I'll make a video, maybe even international break, on why English players are either super overrated or super underrated. I'm not really sure why it is, but Adam Wharton for W. For X, really easy one. Granit Xhaka, the remontada. Obviously, Leverkusen didn't have their best season, but he was still the guy for them. And at Sunderland so far, he's lighting it up, bro. I'm seeing Sunderland fans saying he's the best player they've ever seen play for their club, which is crazy because Sunderland, obviously, like late 90s, early 2000s, they had a bit of a team there with some bagsmen up front as well that used to bag goals, but they're saying, nah, this Xhaka guy is different. So, fair play to him. Why? Really easy. Lamine Yamal, despite the recent injuries and whatever extracurricular activities that are ongoing outside of football, on the pitch, when he plays, sensational, world class, one of the best in the world. Hopefully he can get back fit from whatever injury it is that he has right now, but he is the best player beginning with Y. And lastly, it is Z for Zubimendi, another player who I would say I wasn't his biggest fan, really. He was linked to Liverpool and Arsenal for the last year and a half, and I kept thinking, like, he's alright, you know what I mean? He's nothing crazy, he's just an okay player. So far, he's kind of showing that, alright, he's a bit more than alright, for sure. He's got a great passing, good tempo dictate, and then he's actually quite good in the duels as well. So I guess I should have known when Arteta's that desperate for this guy and told him, don't go to Liverpool, bro. Go to Arsenal instead. It's someone that's going to be big on duels, even aerially, winning against Voltemada and Dan Burns. So fair play to him if he plays like that for the rest of the season. Big ups to him. That's my A to Z. Again, let me know anything that I got wrong. Of course, I keep on saying it. Please do keep on subscribing because that helps me grow. Keep the likes coming, the comments coming. Put whatever video ideas you want, put them in. Because for the next 2 weeks, I don't know what we're going to do. It's international break. I hate it so much, but I've got to give you guys daily videos. So with that being said, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bosh.